In a world where the rights of children and youth often go unheard, MAEJT stands as a beacon of hope and resilience. This year, we celebrate the 30th anniversary of the movement that has tirelessly advocated for the right, dignity, and well-being of working children across Africa. My name is Yasmin Hamad from Tanzania. I'm a national delegate from Tanzania who represents among the people from Tanzania. I would be glad to tell you I'm honored to be here at the AU committee so that I can share with all other Africans what we do in our country. As an African child, we have been working so hard to achieve this goal. And today we are here at the AU, at the African Union, together with other 28 countries from the movement of MWCY. I'm very glad that we have been working together to improve the children's life from different African countries. This year's theme, Resilience of Children and Youth Groups in a Multi-Crisis Context, highlight the extraordinary strength and adaptability of young people facing unprecedented challenges. From economic instability to health crisis and climate change, children and youth are at the forefront of these struggles.
The movement has established itself as a powerful voice of working children and youth across the Africa. 3 decades ago, our movement was born out of the vision shared by working children and youth who inspired for a future whereby their lives would be respected and their voice heard. This vision has become a reality thanks to our collaboration with our technical and financial partners such as Save the Children, Prime International, OK Foundation, 𝐷𝐬𝐢𝐥𝐢𝐜𝐚𝐢𝐧, 𝐻𝐵𝐫𝐨𝐮𝐩𝐢𝐿 and our collaborative committees.
Je n'ai rien de prévu en tête, mais j'ai quelques vers qui pourraient nous permettre de constituer un slam tous ensemble. Quand je considère les enfants, leur vie, leur indépendance, leur épanouissement, le MAEJT a permis pour nous d'être les meilleurs aujourd'hui, demain et de construire un monde meilleur. Je dirais qu'il va dans l'intérêt de chacun d'entre nous de toujours rendre hommage à cette belle organisation qui a fait de nous ce que nous sommes aujourd'hui et qui nous permettra de faire de nous ce que nous serons demain. Ça, c'est ce qui me vient en tête là maintenant.
The African Union, we are dedicated to ensuring that you have a safe and just future and also a prosperous Africa, where every right that you have is actually adequately respected. We have also taken significant strides to ensure that we champion your cause and everything that protects your rights as youth, as children, and as young adults. We have several instruments which I will not be boring you with that is aligned and adequately aligned to effectively tackle every issues that affects you as a young generation, as the future of Africa. However, as we also reflect on this progress that has been made, we have different policy frameworks and all that, which there's no need to actually delve into that. We believe this progress has been made, but we also understand and fully underscore the challenges that the children, you are the children, and the youth and young leaders of tomorrow are currently facing. And this includes different harmful practices that is being meted upon you as children. We have different violence, exploitation, displacement, marginalization, and for our girl child, we have what is still currently ongoing, and we're hoping this can be effectively tackled. Because the African Union, we have zero tolerance to female genital mutilation and other harmful practices like early marriages for our children and gender-based violence for the women also. And so for AU, we are working endlessly to ensure that we end this violence against our children using different multi-sectoral and holistic and also interconnected approach to end all these challenges that you're facing. I believe that you're here so that your voices can be well heard, and heard, not just heard, but heard clearly and loudly. And we believe that the recommendations that emanate from your meeting this week will also be put forth to our policymakers.
Nous sommes ici aujourd'hui au siège de l'Union africaine où le mouvement africain des enfants et jeunes travailleurs a décidé de célébrer ces 30 ans d'action, d'engagement, de prise de conscience dans la défense de leurs droits. Les droits qu'ils ont identifiés en 1994 à 𝐼𝐻, en Côte d'Ivoire, car ces enfants et jeunes travailleurs trouvaient que leur situation difficile devrait être améliorée par la concrétisation de leurs droits à apprendre à lire et à écrire, à rester au village, à s'amuser et à jouer, le droit à une justice équitable en cas de problème, etc. Donc ce mouvement africain des enfants et jeunes travailleurs, qui est aujourd'hui le plus large réseau d'enfants et de jeunes d'Afrique pour la défense des droits de l'enfant, a décidé de célébrer son engagement, sa prise de conscience il y a 30 ans ici à l'Union africaine, ce qui lui permet de continuer à travailler pour les droits des enfants qui sont en situation de vulnérabilité, les droits des enfants africains, afin que personne parmi eux ne soit laissé derrière.
The movement has been achieving quite a lot in the last decades. We've listed quite a lot of the achievements, including the achievements of having brought to the fore issues around child labor, and this is critical. Most organizations do not survive 30 years without being really consistent in their messages and consistent in what they want to do. This movement of young people has been consistent, and over the 30 years have held various forums and brought people together to understand the plight of children who are working. In Africa, we know most of our children work, and it's not out of a choice that they want to work when they're children, but it's because they don't have an opportunity. They don't have another option. And many of them are working not as a plan B, but as a plan A. This is critical for us to understand that we need to be more responsible as adults. And even as the way that children do activities that they can get a little income, adults need to support this. They need a safe environment. We know that business is a cutthroat area where people are trying as much as possible to get as much as they can get. And when children enter this space, they are normally shortchanged. So adults need to participate and work hand in hand with the children to realize that these children are also making a living.
We need solutions from the young people to be part of making Africa stronger and achieving the Africa that we want as per Agenda 2063. So we welcome child participation. We welcome hearing the voices of children, their perspectives, hearing their perspectives of the different areas on different topics such as harmful practices, children affected by conflict and humanitarian crisis and climate change, online exploitation and abuse of children, and look other areas of affecting children. And we want to hear their voices and want to hear their recommendations to the member states and the high-level people within member states. Want to hear the recommendations of children, and this is something which the African Union will take forward.
I'm here at the 30th anniversary of the African Children and Youth Movement, 30th anniversary. It's really a momentous occasion to reflect on the achievements of the movement over the past 30 years. And I was part of a dialogue with young people who were reflecting on the few days that they have spent here on their reflections focused on a number of critical issues that are affecting children and young people on the continent. And this include children in the context of business, children rights in the context of business, climate change and the impact on children rights and youth. We also heard on the impact of conflict, armed conflict on the continent, and the impact on youth and children, mental health, education, access to quality education, which remains a challenge for African children and youth. We also heard about the impact of inflation, which is really felt around the continent by children and youth. I personally was really in awe about the expertise and the level of discussions that took place on those various issues. I work for a child rights and girls' rights organization, and often we hear from decision makers that we put words in children's mouth, and it's unfortunately and fortunately for us, we don't have time to do it because children themselves are experts in these issues. They are experts not because they have studied the matter, but because they live the realities and they express their views on these issues. So it's a pleasure to be here. Congratulations to MAEJT, to the leadership and to the entire team who has pulled together this 30th anniversary, which is being celebrated in the political capital of Africa at the African Union Commission. We had about 80 children from 25 countries on the continent. It's an incredible moment, and we hope that in collaboration with MAEJT, will continue to advance children's rights and youth rights on the continent.